What happens when a journalist goes toe-to-toe with world leaders?
We knew the president would walk into some sort of trap
And wins the respect of an entire nation.
The claim is falsehood. White people are not being targeted.
When President Cyril Ramaphosa played it cool, neglected South Africa, and played safe.
And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist.
Tshidi Madia saved the country and spoke the blatant truth.
We must be okay with a South Africa with a majority that is denied of their own land, with the majority is deprived of access to economic transformations and means of production.
When silence echoed, she made the world listen. This is not just politics. This is South Africa's voice, unapologetically powerful in the hands of Tshidi Madia. In a world where media personalities are reshaping national discourse, and some say she represented South Africa better than their own president, Cyril Ramaphosa, in the Oval Office right in America. Guys, stay with me as we break down the viral moment, the power of truth, and why this may be the boldest defense for South Africa we've seen in years. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Guys, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favour and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
This video is about how the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, embarrassed the country in the Oval Office in America, whilst a journalist, Tshidi Madia, saved South Africa. So for a very long time, Americans have been inviting South Africa for a roundtable discussion. And if you may have been following the discussion, you will know that severally, President Donald Trump has called South Africans as persecuting white South Africans. This has been captured in many news portals worldwide. Already, South Africa is facing 30% tariff. And don't forget that US is the second trading partner to South Africa. Now, this was the opportunity for President Cyril Ramaphosa to save the country with hardcore evidence for the world to know that South Africa is indeed not persecuting white South Africans. Instead, Ramaphosa went unprepared. Now, in as much as I will agree that this was not part, two countries were going to discuss how they could bridge the gap and become good friends and partners again. However, Donald Trump pounced on the president with videos and pictures alleging that South Africa has been slaughtering white South Africans.
Down and just put this on, it's right behind you. Death, 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 horrible death, death, I don't know. To pick anyone, white South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws, and this is all. I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently. And,
President Trump, when will you go and see for yourself if it is?
well, I could do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried.
Now, I felt this was a great opportunity for Cyril Ramaphosa to have hit the nail right on the head by going with some evidence. Because look, in as much as Ramaphosa can argue that that was not part of the discussion, with time or times without number, President Donald Trump and even offered refugee status to this white South African. Now, recently, America facilitated the process for the first white South Africans to go to America as refugees. That should tell you that this is a known secret. And so, going there, I expected Ramaphosa to do a good job by preparing adequately, getting facts, and going to debunk some of these rumors that has been peddled around. But he didn't do that. He went unprepared. He went sober. He went in like somebody who needed a friendship with America so much, and went down, toned down, and accepted all the allegations that were thrown at him. And to make matters worse, he even sounded not to have an idea of what Donald Trump was talking about.
People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now been utilized.
The farmers are not black.
I
don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed.
Concern you as the United States.
Those are all racism. Those are all deaths.
Yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about. Let me just add quickly, you know, the criminality that we are experiencing in our country needs quite a lot of technological capability. And in one of our areas in South Africa, we're using US technology, which is able to, in many ways, identify where shootings are happening and all that. And I'd like to talk about that because there is support that we can get from you as the United States to help us deal with all these acts of criminality. And that is what I believe partnership is all about.
Instead of fact-checking and debunking the claims, he rather accepted and pleaded that South Africa is going to work and even needed American technology to fight some of these crimes, which means that he has accepted that these crimes are going on. However, I mean, claims and fact-checked by BBC and CNN has proven that the images that he shown were very false, were false images. I mean, some of them even occurred in DR Congo.
Persecution and murders of white farmers was just untrue, and this is another evidence. When I saw him hold up that picture, I thought it looked familiar. We now know, and Reuters is confirming, that this picture of body bags is not from South Africa. It's actually from the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's from a mass burial in Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo on February 3rd. And the Reuters video journalist Jafar Al-Katanti, who took that video, was surprised to see the president hold up that picture. It's a screen grab that links to a Reuters video from that day. It follows a big assault on that Goma city in the eastern DRC by rebels named M23, and that was the effect.
But it was used as an evidence against South Africa. Now, this is where I say that Tshidi Madia saved South Africa. So Tshidi Madia was part of the entourage to the Oval Office. I mean, he went with President Cyril Ramaphosa, and after the news, she got the opportunity to be on CNN and News Nation in America. Now, this is what she did. First of all, she set the record straight.
Were you surprised when you saw that?
No, not necessarily. I was amused by the latest gimmick, for sure, but surprised not so much. I think the South African delegation, South African journalists have been talking about it. We knew the president would walk into some sort of trap. It's not surprising. The invite was there. The desire for the conversation to open up the channels between the USA and South Africa are there. South Africa's been trying by all means to try and open up the doors again. And so no one was surprised.
And clarified all the misconceptions and allegations which have been thrown out by Donald Trump.
Is it true that white farmers are being killed in South Africa?
It's an interesting way that you've asked that question. I don't think the issue is what's happening in South Africa. I think the issue is what's being peddled about what's happening in South Africa. If you watch today's engagement, let me get to the point first. If you watch that entire engagement, the recognition, the painful recognition, the startling truth of crime in South Africa, violent crime, was actually uttered by everybody there from South Africa. Is it targeted towards a specific group? Is it an ethnic cleansing? That's the question, right? Based on what's been said about South Africa the world over, at least people are allowed to Donald Trump and Elon Musk. That's not a fact.
Okay, so we don't deny that there's a lot of violent crime in South Africa, right?
Across
seven times the murder rate.
Across the board.
Okay.
And it's not as if Tshidi Madia is the spokesperson for Cyril Ramaphosa or works with Cyril Ramaphosa, but she went there as a journalist from South Africa who knows what is happening on the ground and wanted to set the record straight.
So the issue is whether or not, I guess, whites are being targeted disproportionately. Is that what you're taking issue with?
No, that would be the claim. The issue is that the claim is falsehood. White people are not being targeted, Leland. Nobody. So crime is experienced by everybody, not just white people.
What I also loved about Tshidi Madia is about the way she went about the whole Julius Malema song.
Kill, kill, you have to kill to be part of a revolution, on and on. He was talking about killing blacks or killing whites?
Do you need the context of what that song is? Because you can't take out the context of what that is. That is actually important. It cannot be that he's giving an instruction when that's not the fact. I think we do need to take into consideration the context. What he's chanting is an anti-apartheid song that was sang by leaders in the lead up to apartheid. The back and forth today about that song is whether or not it's relevant in modern day South Africa. Should we still be singing that song if there's a grouping in the country
how can you be
that feels otherwise?
How can somebody be defending singing a song that's talking about killing other people?
I'm not defending singing the song. I'm saying to you that's the conversation that's.
So don't you think white farmers would be scared when they heard that song?
And that's the question that's being put to Julius Malema. I said to you that conversation is happening. It's put to Julius Malema that when you do this, this is what we worry about. But when you look at how long he's been singing the song and whether it correlates with the numbers of farmers under attack, particularly white people, it's not there. People who are being attacked on the farms are farm dwellers and farm workers.
Now, also about the refugee status. The refugee status is where white people are running to seek asylum in America. America has accepted the first batch of white South Africans running from or fleeing from South Africa. Tshidi Madia revealed the secret to this, saying that these people are not real farmers. These are people who just took advantage of opportunity to live in America.
It's also a reality that's got
white
to be.
farmers are not being targeted or white farmers are not being killed. Why are so many who have big land holdings willing to give up their entire lives to come to America?
Where are they? Show them to me.
We had them land.
Those 49 people are not farmers. There are plenty of reports from South Africa that many of those are not farmers. Those are chances. Please, again, show me the evidence. Those are people taking an opportunity. America's giving them an opportunity.
If you go to South Africa, the whites are the one who owns majority of the lands. How can this be fair in Africa? I mean, how can white people who came to settle in South Africa own most of the lands than the black people who owns the land? How is this possible?
You're saying
they're not farmers.
I'm just trying to figure this out. You're saying that your president has not in any way targeted whites, even though Elon Musk, who was there, can't get a license for his business.
He was where?
In the Oval Office.
He was in the Oval Office. He's never been to South Africa. When was the last time Elon Musk was in South Africa?
But he can't get.
When was the last time he was in South Africa? His father, Elon Musk's father.
I'm not talking about when he was there.
No, hold on. I want to also make you understand one thing.
The accusation is that many whites cannot get licenses to do business, among them Elon Musk.
So we're being forced to undermine our transformative laws. We must be okay with a South Africa where the majority that is denied of their own land, where the majority is deprived of access to economic transformations and means of production. We must be okay and not move the needle in any way to try and fix that. We must be okay with South Africa being labeled the most unequal country in the world and not trying to do anything to rectify that. Because that's what that argument says.
No, but the fact of
there are laws.
The fact of the matter is
they must be bent for an individual.
No,
that is what the question is.
But if you make laws that target a certain race, don't.
But there are none of those. Where are those, Leland?
But President Cyril Ramaphosa sat there in the Oval Office in front of Donald Trump and allowed these allegations to fester because he was not prepared, because he didn't have answers to these questions. And he allowed these allegations to manifest because he accepted it and agreed to work on it. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the video.